Welcome to the Raw Review. We are the Dadley Boyz of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hamfler and Michael Sidgwick to review everything that happened on last night's episode of Man and Owl. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we are live right now. Do not get used to this, by the way. This is a special one-off Raw review. Most of the time, these video podcasts will not be going out as live, other than our Q&As, of course, on a Monday. But we are live on YouTube to review Monday Night Raw. Good luck, everybody. And we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Monday Night Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2. But AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with the Bloody Quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, they're joined by Hamlet and Sidgwick to review Monday Night Raw. But before we get into that, a huge announcement. Sod off Cody Rhodes and your big NXT announcement tonight. The Dadley Boyz on Tour, our live show that we've referenced previously, it goes down on the 21st of November, 2023 in the Mosaic Tap in Newcastle upon Tyne. And I can now announce that tickets will go on sale for this show this Friday at 10 a.m. And if you want to get in the Glastonbury-esque queue for those tickets, all you need to do is head to whatculture.com/tickets. Thank you to everyone, by the way, who's already joined us. Thank you, everyone, for their lovely donations as well.
Thank you.
I'll try and read out as many comments as possible whilst we're going through Monday Night Raw. But if you want it to get particularly noticed, it's very generous of you to super chat with us. First donation comes from the legend that is Eric Vasquez. Eric, great first name. Thank you so much for the donation as well.
Named him after you, so okay, it's true.
He just says, yeah. Matt Reigns says,
what a guy.
Never heard of him.
Says, it's the king, the ginger ninja, and the butthole. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Matt, for your donation. OG Stem Cell says, stand alerts, even though I relate to Wilborn's taste the most. Sidge is okay, too.
Thanks.
Love the pods, fellas.
Thanks, OG Stem Cell. Still love the name.
Kid Icarus,
Hey,
legend. We might be hearing a little bit more from later on, says, hello, I'm lurking at work, but very excited to be here for the launch. Take care, gents. Have a great show. Thank you so much for your donation, Kid Icarus. And James Smith says, I finished work early, so I get to watch live. Get in. Looking forward to the 5-star review.
I'm not. Really.
So
Can't laugh on YouTube now, and it's just disgusting, some of the stuff, so we can't laugh in it.
Yeah, the comments are not ours, are they?
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
For the Daddy Boyz or anyone at What Culture. And by the way, yes, if you want to head to whatculture.com and save that link in your browser for Friday morning for the tickets for the live show. We've just stuck a link in the comments section as well. But let's dive in to this week's episode of Man and Owl. The show opened with a Fastlane recap, of course, and then out comes World Heavyweight Champion. Oh, where am I?
Where are your manners, man?
World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins.
I know. They put this on the internet now. We've all got children. That's the point of it.
We're never on radio.
He comes down. He says, look, Nakamura gave me the fight of my life at Fastlane. There were times I thought I wouldn't get up, but I did. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to keep Nakamura down, but I did. And then I walked to the back, and the adrenaline wore off, and my back's still broken. And he does a little bit of a fake out.
Get surgery then.
He teases potentially forfeiting the title. He says, look, being the world champion for the fans has been one of the great honors of my career. I'm just getting started, baby. And he gets that.
You didn't know he was going to do that, did you? Yeah, he thought he was going to leave the title in the ring.
Yeah.
He says, I'll fight anyone, anytime. But maybe just once, for one night, can I not fight for my life? And the crowd actually booed because they wanted to see him fight. He says, but we can sing a song and drink a few cold ones instead. And, of course, here comes Drew McIntyre. And Rollins says, bloody hell, you're not here to party, are you? And McIntyre shakes his head. And Rollins says, you want a World Heavyweight Championship match, don't you? McIntyre nods. And Rollins was like, I only wanted one night. But he says, you know what? I'm a fighting champion. I'll go and get ready and see you later. And McIntyre says, whoa. Party's still on, mate. He says, look, I'm not going to attack you from behind to get a title match. I'm going to ask you straight to your face. And he challenged him to a title match at Crown Jewel. Rollins is confused by this. He says, so you're not here to jump me? And McIntyre's like, nope. And Rollins says, so you want me, hang on 1 second, you want me at 100%? And McIntyre says, bingo! And so Rollins is like, oh, I'm going to get a bit of help from the guys here in Omaha. How does this sound? Crown Jewel World Heavyweight title, Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins. The fans love it. He says, well, one more reason to party then. Drew goes to leave. He's like, well, where are you going? He says, you're in a band after all. A little moment flashes over Drew's eyes. I'm like, it was a different time. So, go on, do a bit of singing, do a bit of dancing. Drew's like, I'm not doing that bollocks. He says, I've got business in the back, but if anyone sees me out tonight, hey, give me a beer. Huh?
No.
Drew leaves.
It's like David Brent.
the
chuffed about drinking.
The audience sings Seth's song, and he's suddenly jumped from behind by Senor Money in the Bank, Damian Priest. He beats him down. Drew just watches. He gets hit with a big choke slam, and then he gestures to the back. And here comes Dirty Dom running out with the Money in the Bank briefcase and a referee in tow as well. But McIntyre puts his arm across Dom, stops him, headbutts him, and then hoists the briefcase into the video screen whilst Rollins gets rid of Priest in the ring. And they just laying there looking all sad for themselves whilst Rollins stares at them. What do you make into this opening?
Loved it again. I just don't
Loved it.
Well, not Seth Rollins, but like Drew McIntyre, I just don't think they're putting a foot wrong with him. I, like Cedric, do not wish to go for a beer with him ever, but I guess he's going to be heel, so that's okay. The idea that Drew is clinging on to this idea in his own head that he's just an honest guy, he's just a good guy, he's going to challenge Seth face to face, which in itself is shortcut stuff, but he's able to frame it as, I'm just meeting you halfway, and then allows Seth to get his ass kicked by Damian Priest, has no interest in helping still until Money in the Bank might be cashed in on, which again kind of puts Damian Priest over as a babyface and as a threat, because Drew, we're led to assume here, like thinks he can probably beat Seth but can't beat Damian, so he doesn't want Damian Priest getting in there. Like, Drew's got his title shot, right? So if Damian cashes in, he'd presumably still get that shot, but that's not what Drew wants. And all he's doing now is thinking about himself while still ostensibly presenting this idea that he's a man of the people or he's there to do what's right, and he's clearly not. I just think, especially considering what we got later, they're still balancing really well this idea that Drew McIntyre is a bit of a babyface in his own mind, and the more he thinks he's a good guy, the more it's going to hit harder when he actually turns. He's going to have all this evidence stacked up that he did the right thing over and over and over again. I think this is tremendous. Like, just great work with him.
Aye, Seth is cringeworthy. And, I do think the Drew McIntyre thing is a really cool plot development. I said it last week, he's got George Costanza energy, to which I've aspired my entire life, even before I watched Seinfeld. I mean, I'm kind of the less guys to hold on to grudges and just, like, really get pissed off at the most minor breaches of social etiquette. I enjoy it. Seth, what was his fascination with beer and cold ones?
Oh, do you remember when, like, him and Roman and, like, Dean Ambrose were getting the Shield back together? Cool, get some brewskis. How do you make me not want to drink with a Shield?
Yeah, I know. Seth. Well, let's leave it at Seth. Leave it at Seth.
People in the comments are very happy that you've got your pen back.
Might be new. Might be a new pen, this. If you notice, I don't know if you can do any zooms. It's just... it's very shiny, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you to John Harrison for your donation.
Shiny.
John Harrison for your donation. He says, boys, quite simply, thank you for being you, putting a smile on my face and the faces of others daily. Peace and love. Hey, at least you got the shoes right, brother.
Thanks, John.
So... before
freemondays.com.
Before we go to potentially the best match of all time, they do a little plug for Becky Lynch's new book, which is one of the best wrestling books out there. That well, it isn't this one, Michael Sidgwick. What's that?
It's Becoming All Elite: The Rise of AEW.
And what's it about?
It's about the formation and indeed rise of AEW.
That sounds interesting, but I have some requirements from the books that I read.
Depends if you like passionate or insightful words.
I do, but sorry to be really pernickety. I have a specific word count.
Yeah?
120,000.
You're in luck. Do you live in the world?
Last time I checked, yeah.
No, order it on Amazon right now.
So it's done, WWE. Right.
There he goes, back in the book hole.
He materialised out of nowhere. So.
Then we got the Viking Rules match. It was Ivar
Where's
versus...
the boat?
Where the hell was the boat?
Where was the boat, man? Like,
the shields around the ring were nice.
Quite like the shields. Wasn't a boat. And like somebody like fiddled with the smoke machine, so it wasn't really working properly. So the smoke just like sort of frittered away. It's good, but it wasn't a boat.
There was a bit where I had to double check. I was like, there definitely was a boat. I'm just misremembered that there was a boat last time.
Berenstein bed, the boat.
It's definitely a boat.
Sorry for the alliteration. It's the work of our souls.
But regardless, we get into it. Ivar knocks Kofi out to the floor. Kofi hits a big dive and almost lands on his head. Gets up, does Ivar, throws Kofi into the shields along the bottom rope, puts him on the apron, splashes him. But Kofi pulls Ivar off the apron to the floor, goes up to the second turnbuckle, jumps off, splashes his back, and gets a 2 count on the outside, falls count anywhere, of course, to take us to a break. When we come back, Kingston's using the flagpole to bring Ivar down with a Russian leg sweep off the ropes. He hits an SOS, gets a 2 count, but Ivar comes back with a nice-looking spinning slam and a sit-out powerbomb for 2. Ivar was sitting on the top rope, setting up for something, and Kingston pulled him off by his beard through a table that had been set up, that he'd set up actually earlier on outside the ring to get a huge pap. And he thought, oh my God, Kofi's going to beat him. But then in runs Valhalla to jump all over him. Xavier Woods runs out and just gets a little bit scared by her. But she runs at him, he ducks, she falls over the barricade, and Xavier Woods is feeling very pleased with himself, just sat up against the barricade in the sort of near the timekeeper's area. And then Ivar does that squish that he does. Oh my God. On Xavier Woods against the barricade. Kingston tries to hit Trouble in Paradise, but Ivar catches him, power slams him through the corner table, and hits a moonsault for the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mystified as to why Valhalla was targeting Xavier Woods so much, but other than that, what an absolutely tremendous bit of fun this was. Yeah. Genuinely, like, Viking Rules matches are inherently goated. Yeah. This was loads of fun. This had that... I hate Michael Cole as a commentator, never been a fan, and when he has that hysterical tone in his voice, just get really like, sometimes he's genuinely a great soundtrack for this, because when it's actually earned and he seems to actually mean it, like he does kind of whip you up. Yeah. Like, I've got an idea. Why don't you give Ivar the belt? Yeah. And then he can beat everybody, because he's kind of my new favorite wrestler. He just has this awesome way, this awesome quality of just having these like sort of really lean, fun matches where they're not quite sprints, but he just picks his moments. He's always able to register how much of a badass he is. Then he does something badass, and I just turn into a little dork in my living room. Like, I love him. I love Ivar.
There's a great pattern.
But where was the boat?
Where was the boat? Yeah. There's a great pattern of people winning 3 or 4 matches on Raw at the moment, and then getting really over as a result, even if they just hit the wall of Gunther or nothing because they're not fighting Seth. But nonetheless, it's great to watch that like all the same. I've said on quite a lot of podcasts recently that I'm bored of pretty much all plunder matches. This veered towards there, and then Ivar went splat through that table. Oh my God! He just hit that table with such force.
And he get sent through it like he smashed a shield in half as well. I thought just decorative.
Obviously, with his size, he's able to make these weapon shots mean all the more. That table both broke in half and splattered, and there was just no give. Like tables are there to break falls. Weirdly enough, it didn't. He was too powerful for it. Like he broke the table and couldn't break his own fall. The moonsault's still awesome. Like he's not lost any of its impact from that first week, I don't think, which is really cool. To Sidge's point, it's obviously he's knowing how to lay these matches out to keep that kind of thing a bit almost like surprising, even if now that's what he's got every time.
He still doesn't look capable of doing it.
No? Yeah. Like, what a success story. Like,
I was panicking a bit because there was a bit like table sticking up as well.
Yeah. Over the wreckage. That's great. I love it when they just wrestle around the wreckage and stuff isn't neatly swept to the side.
Eric Vasquez says, a boat's a boat, but the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat. Thank you to Daniel Legues. Thank you for your donation. And Jose Palomares at the Ho11, who usually takes care of the...
data.
Thank you on Ladies Night. If you want to check that out, the preview for the Tuesday Night War is available as a podcast as well.
The Ultimate War of Wars, some people call it.
A lot of people
Many people are saying it.
But Jose says, I almost missed this. I can't stay long, but I'll definitely watch entirely after work. Dig the haircut, Sidge.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of people putting over your haircut, actually.
Thank you. Makes a change from Twitter.
Lewis Baines, thank you for your donation as well. He says, congratulations on the launch, gents. I've been listening to the reviews for years. And I can't be happy now that I can see Sidgwick's disgust live. Simply, iconic! Byron Saxton's backstage.
I thought he was in the comments then.
Byron Saxton's backstage with Shinsuke Nakamura, asking him about losing at Fastlane. Nakamura doesn't answer. And before he seemingly is about to answer a different question, Ricochet flies in and brawls with him. They have to be separated by officials, and Ricochet yells he's a coward.
Yeah, well, sort of Ricochet was just generally wanting a title shot rather than actively pissed off with Nakamura. So this threw me a little bit, but I like where we got to later on.
Yeah.
Because we're teasing proper stars, so it's fine.
To no pop.
Well, no, not yet. It's going to come.
I did like that after this, we go to a break, we come back, and Damian Priest has just got JD McDonagh held up against a wall. He's furious about what happened at Fastlane, obviously. And Finn Balor and Rhea are like, put him down. And McDonagh tries to plead his case, and Balor just tells him to shut up. He says, you've caused enough bloody, you're enough bloody trouble this week. I've had enough of you.
Thought I was rubbish at accents.
Oh, stick around. Priest is like, where the hell were you during that opening bit? And they were like, oh, we were with Postman Pierce, and they've got the Judgment Day rematch for the tag titles last week. I should say, yeah, by the way, there's JD McDonagh's there, but you've got Damian Priest, you've got Dirty Dom, you've got Rhea Ripley, and you've got Finn Balor, and of course, collectively,
they're in the fucking Judgment Day. Richard Paul.
So, yeah, they've got a tag team title match next week. Priest happy about that. He still wants to deal with McDonagh and McIntyre.
Well, another one.
Yeah, and Ripley says, don't worry about that. You've got your briefcase. Concentrate on that. And she gets in McDonagh's face and says, you're going to bloody deal with McIntyre yourself. And he's sort of, I'm going to deal with him. And Priest, before he leaves, says, I really want to kick your ass after McIntyre's broken your ass in half. But get the job done tonight. Good luck.
Break your ass in half, you little shit. Yes, it's fine. I think the development with JD McDonagh is going to continue to be that gradually kind of wins their trust, and it remains Damian Priest, the guy that keeps affecting the most. And I like this. I genuinely, and I never thought I'd like anything JD McDonagh was involved in. I can't believe they've made me care about this from the days of Finn Balor stalking him in the Purple Lights.
Yes. I don't care.
It's wrong.
Then we
that's what the Dadleys say.
Then we got Nia Jax versus Raquel Rodriguez.
Skip.
Yeah, DQ finish. So
Yeah.
I do want to talk about
match.
I do want to talk about the post match. But enough all that. It's now time for this.
It's short, it's crap, it's wrestling related. The 5-star review. Nailed it.
Nah.
And this week's 5-star
Kind of wait to
review
tell the kids that didn't work.
Yeah, no.
is brought to you by Kid Icarus.
Oh, legend.
If you want to submit something short, crap, and wrestling related, you can do so on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating on there and suggest something. Or you can leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify, screenshot it,
We need the proof.
and then email it to me, just like Kid Icarus has done. adam.wilborn@whatculture.com. Kid Icarus writes, hello! What a fun moment. The first live 5-star review after 218 5-star reviews, because of course Kid Icarus takes care of the
Data.
for the 5-star reviews. Thanks. Says we are finally getting our first look at Wilborn and the other Dadleys as he trudges through the YouTube comment sludge, and I for one can't wait.
I think I can.
Says with the first live 5-star reviews being such a special milestone in the 4.5 years that we've been doing the 5-star review, I figured I'd suggest something that breaks the standard slightly. It is short, but it's great and wrestling related. Please review the best 2 minutes of Wilborn's life. The iconic.
Can I say the conception of Eric? Yeah, two-pump chomp, yeah.
It doesn't last long during full sex.
It's the Iconics. Kyle promo. No one cares now. The only thing I think that would be better than hearing Wilborn's flawless Australian accent would be seeing it live. Cheers, gents. Here's to another 200. Sincerely, Kid Icarus. Thank you, Kid Icarus.
Thank you,
Kid
Kid
Icarus.
Thank you.
Oh, pop myself.
Thank you to Eric Vasquez as well for another donation. Just says,
wow.
Up the Nicholas, our brilliant editor and producer, Adam Nicholas. Oh, I'll try. I can try. Let's see if that works. Anything?
We'll just start shouting louder.
It's not. And thank you for the...
Did you get my joke about Wilborn? Was that too quiet? It's really funny.
He's quick at sex.
He can't hold on, man.
So take us back to the Iconics when they were the women's tag team champions in WWE.
Oh, I had to go rooting through a June 2019 episode of Monday Night Raw for this. And like this was part one of the two-parter of Wilborn Dream Raw moments, right? Because the thumbnail for this Raw on the network, Seth Rollins with a chair.
Oh, God.
And,
Stone Cold Seth Rollins.
I don't know about you, but Eric Young probably felt the wrath of the rattlesnake, if you ask me, because Seth was getting pretty pissed off. But the Iconics were toasting becoming the longest reigning women's tag champions ever because they were giving them as a joke at WrestleMania. And nearly chased Sasha Banks out of the company. You know, part
Did
one.
eventually.
Yeah, got her in the end. And they weren't fighting anybody ever because they couldn't really go. So they put the titles on the line against local jobbers and beat them easily, obviously. I watched this match. And I was like, oh, God, I loved the patter at the time. They were not so good, Al. And then they put the belts on and they trotted around pretending to be horses. And then the camera cut to the commentary table, which, if you remember at the time, was in like the Nitro spot.
Yes.
So it's not even on them. And they're still just trotting the ring like horses. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you're pretty good, actually. Thanks, Iconics. I got it again. I got it all over again. The power was back. Yeah.
Thanks to Alex Briegel, who says, can't believe we're at a point where we can see the Dadleys live daily. Congrats, boys. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you.
And Matt Raines says, I wouldn't have a beer with Seth and think of the ground that covers.
He likes his beers.
He does like his beers.
Sorry, I had to dip out for a moment. Just catching back up. See you later, guys.
See you later, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. So, yes, Kayla Braxton is waiting backstage for a WWE.com exclusive, and we hear, "Hey, Kayla!" And here they bloody come.
Origin story.
Peyton Bloody Roy says, excuse me, can you stand with your back to me? It's so bloody rude. Billy Kay says, you're an interviewer? You hold a microphone and ask a question.
That's not funny, lads.
I don't know, Sage. I had a big old laugh at my desk at this.
Peyton says, you ask a question and we give you the answer. And go. And Kayla congratulates them on their victory, being the longest reigning women's tag team champions, and gets like a high five fake out from Billy Kay. She says, but it's been a while.
It's been a while. There's a stain on his business if he has to tape, man.
It's been a while since you defended the titles. And Billy goes, you just ruined it. Peyton says, you come in here, you ask your damn questions, you ruin things. Billy says, you came in here like a 5 or a 6, and you went, and Peyton's like, I wish you wouldn't stand so bloody close to me, actually. And Billy says, are you professional? And she
if anything.
She hits her with a...
You got a journalism for that? You got to be joking me.
Great. She says, oh, did you miss that class? No, I know how to ask questions. Payne says, she skipped the class. Right? And Billy all of a sudden just seriously goes, what's the matter with you? Huh? And Kayla says, is there a tag team you're maybe looking forward or holding out to face? And Billy goes, no. Payne says, I'm just going to read this verbatim, Sidge, because it sounds like a WWE promo that they've actually written for her. I'll tell you this much for free. When two duos of the female gender find a good opportunity, or if they step up to the plate, then we'll consider it. We'll pencil them in for an opportunity. And Billy says, pencil them in the books, as they say.
That's good. That's
good.
Has said tag team come up yet? It's a big fat no. And then there's just a silence. She just looks at Karen and goes, wow, you're shocking. Payne says, she's choked up right now. Look at her bloody face. She doesn't have anything more. Billy says, you're a huge Iconics fan, aren't you? Do we make you nervous? Payne's like, you're so bloody nervous. And Billy goes, oh, bless your little cotton socks. Just kidding, I don't care. And knocks away the microphone. They complain about her attitude. Kayla leaves, and we just finish it off with her. You got to be joking me.
Great comedy. Classic laughs. Look, they had chemistry.
Yeah.
They had chemistry. They could bounce off each other. Like two people having a conversation. You know what I mean? Like,
they should put that on YouTube.
Yeah. Not that impressed.
It was not like, why wasn't this on the normal telly show? Because it wasn't like any other backstage stuff.
Oh, was infinitely better than anything on Raw at the time.
Yeah. It was skimming through. Oh, boy. We've lamented how awful that period was, the wild card, the 2 out of 3 falls.
Really funny, like.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Do you know, and then randomly, because of the wild card, I guess, Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan came out as SmackDown Tag Team Champions and laid the challenge out to anyone on Raw that wanted to fight for those titles. I was like, I forgot all about that. That led to Roman Reigns and the Doppelganger.
Oh, yeah.
That's where that went.
It's amazing, that. Amazing times. I wish the Fed was that bad again.
Yeah, sometimes it is. Sometimes. AEW's heading that way. It's all right.
We go to the comment section. They do not reflect the views of myself, Pamphlet Sidgwick, or anyone who wants to watch wrestling.
You can't laugh at this stuff, lads. We're on YouTube now.
Okay.
And, you know, it's just...
I have nothing to do with this.
That doesn't reflect the views of Adam Nicholas
Thanks,
either.
Nicholas.
All I'm saying is that it's, you know, just a quaint bit of, like, pretty mild, gentle comedy. I don't really think it could get, like, dirty or horny.
Top comment from Majota's Wrath 64 simply says, the splitting up the Iconics was a crime against humanity. Absolute legends.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know why I would split them up. I like these comments.
Tyler Lee says, love the Iconics. Here's a comment from the time. Iconics versus Fire and Desire at Stomping Grounds, please.
Best pro wrestling on the planet, period.
Yes. Sad.
Different times.
Stephen Drum says... Stephen Drum says...
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
I'd rather have Peyton Royce than what?
Nia Jax.
Okay. All good. Both good guesses.
I don't think they're getting horny yet. I don't think they're getting horny at all.
Not today.
I'd rather have Peyton Royce than a Rolls Royce.
It's less cringeworthy when they're mucky, isn't it?
There's a comment here, actually, Sid, I could really do with your help with. Well, it's a series of comments.
Okay.
Basically, it's trying to spell Showtime, but it says Showtime.
Sean Connery.
Just says Showtime with a 3 at the end. All caps.
Showtime.
They write, their Instagram accounts are the reason why I'm late for work. And then Paulie writes, and have a lot of laundry to do. I don't understand. Why?
Right.
They got like a cleaning thing on their Instagram?
I don't think that's it.
Right,
Sorry, say the comment again. I'll clarify. I'll do my best.
Their Instagram accounts is the reason why I'm late for work. And someone else says, I have a lot of laundry to do.
I think we're back in the realm of those people who, when they pleasure themselves,
No, not these guys.
do so and use the sock to catch it.
What's it?
Ejaculate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense, actually, now, yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Smirnoff writes... Billy Kay needs a hot and sweaty time with me right now. Don't clip that.
Is that because he's like a personal trainer? And
Maybe, yeah.
Is that right, Sidge?
Maybe he's like proffering his services.
Yeah, like go for a jog, go down the gym. Yeah.
Just Daryl's donated to say, what would the Iconics sound like playing Bones with The Undertaker? Cheers on the launch, you flipping legend. Up the Dadleys.
They can't play.
They can't play. I don't know, women in the goddamn locker room. What happened to this friggin' business? Wouldn't catch a woman in a BSK apart from Sarah. Across the neck. And then get it taken off. Don't know which one hurt more.
I don't look like a giant goddamn barcode. That goddamn name on that neck no more. Banks Concilio.
How many more comments are there? Just
4.
4.
We're ramping up.
Oh.
Right, bro, Peyton Royce. Man, put me back through puberty. Hard one. I don't really understand that one, to be honest.
Say it one more time.
Bro, Peyton Royce. Man, put me back through puberty. Hard one.
So a full-grown adult looks at it and thinks, I like this, but I want to remember the first flushes, my first erections.
Maybe they're not as good as they used to be.
Yeah, maybe.
I like
So he's watching WWE Digital Exclusive to try and test that.
Yeah. Well, he's already been through puberty.
He's done it.
Yeah, hey. Maybe he's got like erectile dysfunction problems and we shouldn't laugh at him.
No, we might get a sponsorship for a company that can help with that down the line.
Yeah.
Michael 2244.
What was it?
Right. So, if Peyton was a dominatrix, I'd be a slave in a second.
Well, people are into stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
she might not want to.
She might want to do that.
I don't think they get this.
No, they never think about that.
No. 3 left, is it?
2 left.
2 left.
JVD.
They're not that bad. They're not that bad.
No, we're doing all right.
JVD 6330. Just writes, oh, come on, man. It's no Jizz January.
It's just alliteration, though, I think. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Does that pass in the alliteration rule?
Hang on, is that what they mean by dry January? I thought that was about booze.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Wait, no Fat February. How many can you do? Let us know in the comments.
No masturbation March.
There you go.
April's hard.
April is tough. I have to come back to that. You've got no Jizz June, no Jizz July, Jizz all the way through the summer.
No ooze October.
No Spunk September.
No ooze October.
There we go.
Yeah.
No Discharge December.
Yeah. There's only April left and we've done 12 months of not wanking.
Yes.
With the Dadley Boyz on YouTube.
Matt Cockrell says abstain April.
Yes.
There we go.
Thank you.
Final comment. Once again, not reflecting the views of the Dadley Boyz, Adam Nicholas, anyone at What Culture Wrestling. God-fearing man. Simply right. Thanks once again to Kid Icarus. How many is it? 218 5-star reviews.
A lot of internet filth. That, isn't it?
God-fearing man just writes. Oh, it's sped. I'd spread my mayonnaise on her Wonder Bread.
What's next on Raw? Is Wonder Bread an Australian thing?
Yeah.
Because she's Australian and he wants to come on.
I get it. Maybe that much.
Back to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So the match has been thrown out. The beatdown kind of kicked ass, I thought. Ripley came in, chucked Rodriguez out. That caused the DQ. Kicked Nia Jax right in the head and she just went over. Crowd loving this. Rodriguez goes after Ripley. Ripley hits her with a headbutt. Here comes Shayna Baszler. Baszler and Ripley getting a face-to-face. And then when Ripley turns her back, Baszler German suplexes her and knees her right in the face whilst Jax walks off up the ramp.
Probably the best booking of Rhea Ripley as champion since she won the belt, realistically. It feels like almost like a division again. And in Nia Jax and then Shayna Baszler, which I thought was nicely done here, 2 threats. Like Rhea Ripley, as dominating as she is, now has a minimum of 2 challenges that could theoretically take a title. Nice bit of old ratings wall law that Shayna and Rhea came back together on today of all days.
Yeah.
The day of the Ultimate War of Wars.
Yeah.
That was just nice, I thought. But like Shayna immediately feels credible when you put her out there and she's able to just dominate Rhea like that. Good stuff, I thought.
Hi. All right.
Drew's backstage.
It's not that good.
Seth
You like what you like, and that's fine.
Seth walks up to him and says, I've spoken to Postman Pierce. Match is official for Crown Jewel. What's your bloody problem, though, pal? Says you didn't stop any attack, and then you act like a hero blocking the cash-in. Drew's like, I haven't lied. I said, I don't get involved when it's not my business. Priest cashing in would have affected my business. I don't want another bloodline-like situation on Monday night. And Seth says, don't worry, the Judgment Day can't take the title from me, and neither can you.
Logical, even more so than earlier. He doesn't want a stable getting involved because he's felt the wrath of all that in the past. I don't believe him. I think he's been a coward. But you can believe that he thinks that, you know?
Yeah, same again.
Jackie Redmond interviews Shayna Baszler. She says, I'm the baddest woman in the ring, no matter who else is standing in there. No one will sneak attack me and get away with it. I think she's got a match next week. I'd be willing to put money on the fact she's going to get sneak attacked.
I think she's going to get sneak attacked.
Right, Michael Cole introduces the new tag team champions, Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso. He asked them how it feels to be champs, and Jay's very happy. Not as happy as he was at the press conference, but still happy. He says, I'm turned up right now, 2-time undisputed WWE Tag Team Champion. Cody Rhodes is my partner, Oos. And Michael Cole, hard-hitting journalist that he is, turns his attentions to Cody and talks about finishing the story, says, are you content with just defending the tag titles?
Just bury the titles, why don't you?
Are you
I'm glad somebody was actually asking good questions after Saturday.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to take another shot at the WWE Championship because you failed the first time and maybe you're scared of letting people down again? And Rhodes says, look, I'm excited as everyone else that I'm one half of the undisputed tag champs. And Cole's like, all right, but what about winning the WWE Championship? You came this close, a bit like you're dead. And before we can get a response from him, here comes Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, inexplicably Sami Zayn's heel music. I think they changed that later on.
Yeah, apparently that was just an error, wasn't it? Somebody, I don't know who it was, reported it. Yeah, just somebody made a mistake.
Audio issues? What's this, Wednesday night?
Hey!
Got him.
Zayn says, look, the Usos were the longest reigning tag champs in history, but we defeated them. Me and Owens at WrestleMania. Judgment Day were red hot. You beat them. That should be the story we're talking about. He's happy for both of them. What a lovely bloke Sami Zayn is. But he says he's got mixed emotions.
He's a fictional character.
He couldn't help but feel that he and Owens should be holding the tag titles. I know
This guy feeling things.
He's reading a script.
Guy ain't shit. Serious stuff, really nice, but that guy ain't shit.
Owen says, I haven't got mixed emotions. I'm not happy to see you at all with you, those tag titles. I want those titles back, and he challenged them to a title match tonight. But he also says, I know you won't accept, because Jay couldn't handle losing the titles to me twice. Jay's kind of pissed, but Rhodes calms him down and says, hey, we're all friends here. At least I think we are. And he says, you know what? You're wrong, actually, Kev, because we do accept. We'll do it tonight on Raw. The crowd cheer, and Zayn shakes hands with Cody Rhodes.
I'm so pleased that they just did this. We talked about this yesterday, like they would do that title shot, and the worst thing would have been for Cody and Jay to be positioned even accidentally as cowards. WWE used to do this all the time, making complete arseholes of their baby faces. So this was, I wouldn't have expected it to happen on this Raw. I thought they were going to get maybe like a month out of this or something. But obviously they've got other plans. You got the Judgment Day match next week. This must be it for now. And like even later on, not to jump ahead, but Kevin Owens looked a bit miffed when we all had to make friends, so it doesn't feel like anything's been healed by the battle itself. I
thought it was a nice way of setting it up.
Yeah.
Like for a WWE backstage segment, a vaguely organic way of setting it up, and I'm the same. Like I've got that WWE head of I'm just convinced they're going to drag literally everything out and do it 3 friggin' times. So I was kind of shocked that they did it.
Cody, you're right about the, like Michael Cole saying about the world title. It's like, anyway, like enough about them belts. We're on to this one again.
Yeah.
But I do quite like that we're back to like a bunch. It's obviously not just going to be Michael Cole's. A bunch of people are going to start needling Cody as we head towards like Rumble season. Like, how's that story going, mate? You're going to finish it anytime soon. That's great. That's a certain relief to that, isn't it? That's happening on camera because even Cody in the press conference was like, I know what people are saying. Yeah. I know that there's other names out there all of a sudden. I'm not like blind to any of this.
It's very different to when wrestlers used to just keep doing that on their Twitter and you'd be like, right, but that's not on telly, so that doesn't really mean anything.
Tweeting saying, watch me, just let me fly, and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Nobody's tweeting with that hashtag.
Yeah, no.
There's a triple threat match to determine the next contender for Gunther.
Oh my God.
But before we get there, Chad Gable's getting warmed up by getting chopped by Otis. In comes Bronson Reed, so I wouldn't be stressing out and prepping like this. You're not getting anywhere near the IC title because I'm getting the shot tonight. Maybe don't let your daughter watch because it's going to be another heartbreaking loss. And Gable fires up and says, hit me again, Otis. Oh, thank you. And then we got the triple threat match.
Oh my God.
Ricochet makes his entrance, but before he can get out there properly, he's attacked from behind by Nakamura, who hits a GTS.
To knee pop.
It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Oh, happy.
Copy good homework. And that campaign from AEW was like an all-time a bit of business.
Yeah, this is nowhere near as good so far, but we'll see.
If and when we get to Chicago and they've done anything close to that, nailed it.
Yeah.
Sets up with the Kinshasa, but officials come out and stop him. So Ricochet makes it in for the match, but he's not looking great before it even starts. Bronson Reed, Chad Gable. Chad Gable's quite a good wrestler. Pass it on. Reed's up on the apron, jumps at Ricochet. Ricochet hits a diving knee to cut him off, so Gable picks Ricochet up for a belly-to-back suplex onto Bronson Reed as we go to break.
Oh my God.
So good, man.
When we come back, Reed hoists up both men, hits him with a Samoan drop. Ricochet hits Gable with a springboard crossbody and a standing shooting star press for 2. Ricochet super kicks Reed. Gable hits Reed with an awesome-looking German suplex. And Gable puts Ricochet in an ankle lock, but Ricochet just slips out, hits a knee strike. Gable tries a release German suplex off the top, but Ricochet lands on his feet. That was ridiculous. But he sort of tweaks his knee, so Gable hits a chaos theory. Reed grabs Ricochet, drops him on Gable, hits both men with a senton. Tsunami to Ricochet. 1, 2, 3. It's Gunther, Bronson Reed next week.
I've never seen Bronson Reed perform like this much of a monster. The more boring answer is maybe on an NXT episode or maybe the match with Okada, but I can't remember the last time I had fun watching a Bronson Reed match, or I can't remember the last time I actually received him as a monster, capable of just picking people up at his will. Just, I always, whenever I see a spot that requires someone to throw somebody else at somebody else, I just think of the Authors of Pain and just Coil and Horror. At that time with the power bombing someone on somebody else's fucking face. So whenever I see that, I'm instantly like, I wince. And he just nailed it perfectly. It was one of those things that just looked horrific and devastating, but in fact, it was perfectly, beautifully safe. And it just, Bronson Reed, he's got like a nice face, hasn't he?
Yeah.
There's a little smooth face.
We were never sure if he was like a big guy or big guy.
Yes.
He couldn't really be one of the
I
other.
look like a monster here. Thought this was class.
Yeah.
When did Triple H get a bit fun?
Yeah, like this Bronson Reed run a bit like the Ivar one. Like you can kind of like, especially with Gunther having the belt, that really helps. I'm going to say spot Bronson Reed. We were talking about this over the desks earlier on.
Yeah.
And the Bronson Reed run that we could kind of see coming for a few weeks now. We thought, maybe it'll be Seth, maybe it'll be Gunther. The fact it's Gunther is great because that's a far more entertaining destination, even if Bronson's just being set up to lose. It's fine because you'll have some memories of this if and when they kind of want to go back to him. That smash him and stack him powerbomb deal was how Gunther beat Drew and Sheamus at WrestleMania. So Bronson Reed's like, I can do that. I'm just as strong as you. And that, I know we praise Chad Gable for something every week. But when they did the suplex bit off the top and Ricochet went to sell a leg, and then Gable was just right back on it, like a pit bull, but actually like one, rather than just because Vincent Mann thinks you're small. Real pit bull energy. Maybe grow 6 foot and then you can be an extra dog. You can be the big dog, I might push you. But superb stuff. And, Ricochet getting beaten up, it does protect him, but not in that way that offends your sensibilities, does it? He was going in not quite ready for it, so loved it. Reed and Gunther. Can't wait for that.
Ivar versus Gunther is the main one, but Bronson Reed versus Gunther should be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Not unbelievable.
Really
very good.
Really good. Gunther's this TV match secret weapon guy, isn't he? They're kind of keeping him off these PLEs now. He's the Raw guy. You remember his matches?
Thank you, Darren Davies, for your donation.
Thank you.
Darren. Becky Lynch gets interviewed. She says, look, I'm not 100%. I've got 11 stitches in my arm, but when you're a fighting champion, you're never 100%. Plugs her book, says she's going to give Tegan Knox everything she's got, and then in comes Xia Li. Where the hell have you been? Says, I want a shot, and Lynch says, I'm not hard to find.
Yeah.
Dialogue here was rubbish. Actually, it was inoffensive. Too inoffensive to be rubbish. I thought the delivery back and forth was two people reading from a script.
That thing where
not a real conversation.
Triple H puts one of his old NXT people on camera, and suddenly instant title match. It doesn't tend to work for those challenges either, does it?
Well, this didn't tonight.
No. Yeah, exactly. Perfect example.
Before that, it was Drew McIntyre versus JD McDonagh, who tries to chop Drew McIntyre. Not a good idea. McIntyre no-sells it and just hoys him flying through the air with this huge back body drop. Dirty Dom's out there. Distraction allows McDonagh to chop block McIntyre and take over for a brief while. And he takes the referee so Dom can post McIntyre as well. But the second time that Dom tries to interfere, he just gets thrown into the announce table. And then McIntyre comes back. Future Shock DDT, JD McDonagh. Claymore kick, 1, 2, 3. Priest is shown watching grumpily in the back. Ripley says, don't worry, I've got an idea.
Decent character work from Drew, but my favourite thing here was that JD McDonagh and Dominic Mysterio are like the NWO B team of the Judgment Day. Like Drew can absolutely power through these with absolutely no bother. They've got that, which allows the Judgment Day to lose potentially quite big matches as well. Yeah. These are the dweebs of the group at this point.
Yeah, he's a dweeb McDonagh.
Then we cut to
J. Dweeb McDonagh.
Then we cut to Wade Barrett interviewing DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano from earlier on in the day. Ciampa says DIY was always bigger than us. Fans made us.
Well, he was. I saw you feud.
Main evented TakeOver as a tag team. Gargano says, look, everything happens for a reason. This is finally our moment. And he's barely got those words out of his mouth until in comes Giovanni Vinci and kicks his head off.
Sneak attack from the front.
I know. Sneak attack from the front, and also just maybe wait a week.
Yeah.
The idea is that you've stigmatized Johnny Gargano as a massive geek. I mean, he himself does that, on Christmas morning. But at the same time, you got to give him a week. Give him a week of I know they've had the reunion. Maybe give them a nice babyface win. Here's why you're meant to get behind them. The double teams are really cool. They've got great chemistry. Johnny Gargano's likable in a very inoffensive way. Happy to have them back. You like them and respect them. Now, on those heels, bastards. For beating them up from the front. They look like little tossers.
They beat the shit out of them as well. They absolutely destroyed them.
Why would you care? If you're a main roster guy who just didn't care about NXT and never really watched it, you'd think Johnny Gargano was the most irritating loser imaginable.
Yeah.
All he's done on this show, since he was brought up or re-signed or whatever, is done terrible comedy and got his ass kicked.
Do you remember, when they were saying as well, 7 years ago, we sort of thought, what's it going to be like when we get to Monday Night Raw? And I was like, I know the answer to that. Do you remember when Wumpy Triple H was forced to lose all of his best guys, and then DIY both went on the show?
That one, and that one. I'll have them.
I'll have them, please. And then Ciampa got injured, and his NXT main event was goosed.
Yes.
That was DIY on Raw. If you've only ever watched Raw, that's your memory of them.
Yeah.
And now you got this. Weird. Triple H as a booker has got a very strange relationship with Johnny Gargano, and I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I did like Wade Barrett running away, though. Tickled me.
Jim Ross, Daly's Place, Kenny Omega energy.
Get out of here. They did try and establish Tegan Nox before the title match. They did a video package of her with all about the ACL stuff that obviously was terrible. Lucky to be there, she said, never stop fighting. I'm here to win. And she gets interviewed. She says, look, Becky Lynch is going to be fighting the best version of me. I'll show the world who I am. And Natalya shows up and says, hey, you go out and show what you're made of. Thanks, Natalya.
I'll take advice from somebody else. On the following evidence.
Once again, I am asking, where's the boat?
Ricochet stomping around backstage. He wants to fight with Nakamura, but Postman Pierce says I've got him out of the building. Falls Count Anywhere match next week.
Yeah, it's like a decade-old NXT TakeOver match, except no one's going to be interested.
Kendo Sticks, maybe. With any luck.
If you're going to do Falls Count Anywhere, just do Viking Rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if
Put
the
a
rest
boat in every WWE match, and I might stop being such a twat.
Don't Chris Jericho listen to this.
I know.
Kind of last guys put a ring on a boat.
And then it was time for the NXT Women's Championship match. Tegan Nox challenging Becky Lynch. Lynch early on misses a dive off the apron, hits the barricade. Nox cannonballs her off the apron for a 2 count. We go to a break, come back. Lynch is firing back, hits an exploder for a 2. Nox comes back with a flying crossbody for 2. And Nox goes for that Chinese wizard, but Lynch ducks it and goes to the armbar. Nox blocks that and drives her into the turnbuckle. Drops Lynch off the top and hits another cannonball. Puts her in an armbar to the injured arm, but Lynch manages to escape and hit some kicks and a missile drop kick for 2. Nox catches Lynch off the ropes and hits a fall-away slam into a cover for a 2 count. But as Nox tries for a crucifix pin, Lynch kicks out and puts her in the disarmor for the submission victory, but they bump fists after the match.
I want to apologise to Colton, a long-standing listener, a proper OG of this podcast that may be watching today or maybe listening today, because a big Tegan Nox guy.
He wanted a...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because the gear looked amazing, but the match was just there. And I get no joy out of saying that, because I've always kind of rated Tegan Nox and wanted a little bit more from what WWE's ever given. But this was just nothing. There was some okay limb work at times, and you're going to get that with Tegan Nox, because obviously you know that both those legs are there to be targeted. Becky Lynch is great at doing that thing where she sells very briefly that she might be in trouble, and then she's got such experience that she gets out of it. I like Becky Lynch doing that because she can play the veteran quite well. She's good at most things, but the fans were never really into this, and they were never not once, believing that there was going to be a title change. You didn't even get that 1% of doubt, and they never came up for anything. This was no good.
This is really, really tepid. Some of Tegan Nox's work did not look particularly good. I don't think the layout was good, even if the action was there, which it really wasn't. I'm allowed to do it today on this, the ultimate war of wars, the Tuesday Night War. Contrast this with Bryan Danielson versus Kyle Fletcher, which is a similar kind of match. You've got one person who's a much more established star, much more experienced in storylines, the like superior wrestler, taking on a challenge from like a new upstart, either someone who is, you know, broken from the tag ranks in the case of Fletcher, or someone who's getting that chance at last in Knox. And brutal contrast.
Oh, thanks to Mia Nissim in the comments who reminded me that I missed the fact that whilst they had that Ricochet Postman Pierce thing, there was a secret meeting between Rhea Ripley and Drew McIntyre in the background. I forgot to mention that earlier.
Loves that stuff, doesn't he? Absolutely loves that stuff.
Wait a minute, what's happening over there?
Postman Pierce informs Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell that Gargano's banged up but not seriously injured, but still waiting word on Ciampa. Ripley shows up and says, piss off. And she demands a match against Baszler for next week.
The extension of our thoughts about Gargano go to Candice LeRae. To a lesser extent, Indy Hartwell, but certainly Candice LeRae. Does he kind of hate them? Does he hate them for losing the Wednesday Night War or something? Because they are made to look like geeks here, aren't they?
Aye.
Like, Postman Pierce, how's my husband at the hospital? Why are you here, Candice? You're not wrestling.
Yeah. Natalia's back.
No! 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 No!
She approaches Tegan Knox. Say, you did amazing. Knox is kind of pissed off she didn't win the title, obviously. Katana Chance and Caden Carter show up, and they offer some positives and says, want to go for a drink? Bloody love to party, those guys, don't they?
Yeah.
Right.
Lots of positive tests when they drink.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green and Piper Niven show up, and Chelsea Green's like, bit of a pity party. And she says, Natalia, you don't get involved in my business. And Natty's like, or else what? And Chelsea stammers, and then Piper Niven steps in and says, you're going to have to deal with me. And that leads to another match being set up for next week.
Natty and Knox, and one of them is going to turn, aren't they?
Yeah. Who could possibly care? I can't. Can you?
Not really.
Can you?
Ted the Hillbilly Hills in the comments.
Oh, I care about that. We were talking about Ted the Hillbilly Heel, saying that we miss his presence on Twitter and all the custom memes. Don't come back. Don't come back if you don't want to. I respect your decision to not be on that app anymore, but I'm glad he's still about. That's great news.
Yeah.
Thank you for your donation, Ted. Good day, legend.
Ted. Thanks,
Congrats on the launch. Thanks, Ted. So Jay's getting ready backstage ahead of the main event. Drew walks up to him and he says, I see through you. One day you're going to show your true colours and I'll be there to drop you. And Jay's like, look, let's have a bare knuckle fight then. But Sami Zayn comes in, breaks it up. Drew leaves. And Jay's like, thanks for having my back, but I'm going to have to kick your ass out there. And Sami's like, don't have to tell me twice. And just before the main event, I kind of echoed Kevin Owens' sentiments, but also really enjoyed what came next, which was a vignette for Ludwig Kaiser about how he's living art. He means European elegance, A+ talent, A+ aesthetics, A+ everything, because he's an A+ specimen. There was like AI arts things on there.
Yeah, that's great.
And then we cut back to the ring and Owens is there with Zayn going, what the hell's that?
They love him. They're not producing a vignette for a tag team wrestler in a stable, kind of out of nowhere, if they are not completely head over heels in love with this bloke.
He's doing they think he's like really good looking, isn't he? He was doing the like sex.
Hey,
Habit.
he is.
He's doing like sex habit bit with the American Alpha story.
He lasts more than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Does this mean as well, that stands a chance after the apparent enforced Imperium split that we're going to get, whether we want it or not, that we get the old Giovanni Vinci character back? Because that was pretty great before he was taken away from NXT.
Yes.
The entrance with the camera and the... Get them both over. They were class.
Yeah.
This was good. This was good.
And then it was main event time. Undisputed tag team titles on the line. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defending against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And they started off, Rhodes and Zayn, sort of respectful exchange, I suppose, early on. And then Zayn gets a bit annoyed and shoves Cody, and Cody shoves him back. And then Jey and Kev hit the ring, and they don't need any more encouragement. And they argue, and we go to a break. Jey tags himself in after that and circles Zayn. They go after it. Owens comes in, batter each other. They spill outside the ring. Rhodes tries to get involved, so Zayn goes after him. More brawling. Seems like things have settled down, and then Owens just tackles Jey over the announce test to take us to another break. When we come back, Owens hits Jey with a senton bomb for 2. Owens and Jey exchange super kicks. Jey hits consecutive super kicks, but Owens drops him with a clothesline. Rhodes and Zayn come back in. Rhodes hits a power slam and a Cody cutter for 2. Counter for counter. Zayn hits a blue thunder bomb for a 2 count. Hits an exploder into the corner. Goes for the haluva kick, but Rhodes pops out of it and hits a crossroads. Owens has to dive in and break it all up. Rhodes sets up for a pedigree, but Sami Zayn hits a back body drop, and they both tag out. Owens and Jay come back in. Jay hits a super kick. Owens avoids an Uso splash and hits a stunner, but Rhodes comes back in and breaks up the cover. Zayn wipes out both of them with a flip dive. Owens tries for another senton bomb, but Jay gets his knees up. He hits Owens and Zayn with super kicks. Rhodes hits Zayn with a crossroads, and then they hit that awesome 1D Cody cutter, or 1D Cody cutter thing, which they called it like the 1D Cody or some bollocks.
Yeah, it needs work. That needs work, yeah.
It's almost as bad as co-percution. It's just criminal. Sorry, mate, sorry.
Jay gets the pinfall victory. They retain the tag titles, and as you mentioned, post-match, Zayn shakes hands with Cody and Jay, and Owens reluctantly shakes hands with Cody and then Jay, and even holds up his hand in victory to close out the show.
Hamflet, you can't really reach to the soundboard. Do you want me to press the button?
No.
You know, I was going to press this one.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking one of them. This was good and never great, this. And I wondered halfway through if it was just because, like, you get so used to the Judgment Day ones, and there's just, obviously, the heel babyface dynamic contributes so much to the way the crowd come up for stuff. I think everybody wanted Cody and Jay to win this because they've just won the titles, but it wasn't in that way where, please stop the bad guys from taking away the thing that we like, you know? Cody Rhodes in particular, he just doesn't have bad nights. He does not have bad nights in WWE, but he didn't feel like he was having to fight the world like he normally does when they're cheating and they're all sort of running around. Kevin Owens was the most interesting wrestler in this for me because he was the kind of only one wrestling a little bit heelish, and he was willing to do the cut-offs, and which makes the most sense, obviously, in terms of the characters. So maybe as well, this was pretty smart. Maybe they read the room here and they thought, if you build this for a few weeks, it's not going to live up to the expectations because there's not...
We'll do it again.
Well, they might do, yeah. But there's not that deeper story. The reality was, like, they deserved the title shot, they got it, they lost. And now maybe there's something better to bounce off. Now you'd have, like, Kevin Owens, you could see, like, when they're holding up the end, he wasn't that keen on all the handshakes and hugs. Like a few critics of MJF on the internet still. But this was... I'm glad it was a Raw main event. I was like a little bit disappointed by it, but that feels unfair because the work was still excellent. And when it was hot, it was hot. Like the double super kick and the Cody 1D. Oh, it's still great to watch them do double teams because it's quite fresh. But the match didn't hit the ceiling of some of the other like great Raw ones.
Yeah, the cynical take here would be when the match broke down and certain people in it were trying to keep it friendly and Kevin Owens and Jay were not wanting to do that. The cynical way of putting it would be like it was the Wish version of Revolution 2020. But I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. No, I think I enjoyed it more than you.
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed it more than you. Just nice to not have a Judgment Day tag for once in my
for 1 week
goddamn life.
Yeah, it's back next week.
What time is it?
Sorry, saying oh.
I just thought, is there a game we can play? Because we haven't pressed the button. We have to press the button.
I should have pressed the button once, didn't we? We not pressed the button today?
We pressed it
We
again.
pressed it for what would you have rather than what would you have instead
okay,
of?
I apologise.
Yeah, relatively game-free this Raw, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a shame. I prefer games to Raw. I do, it's bad.
Well, if you like games, Michael Sidgwick, you know you can check out the Tuesday Night War preview podcast.
Lots of games on that.
Lots of games on there. We've merged both the AW Dynamite and the NXT preview onto there. Don't worry though, tomorrow separate reviews for both shows for NXT.
Yeah, they won't be time shifted.
For AW Dynamite, and if you're a fan of the video podcast, please do make sure you subscribe, obviously. But if you're a fan of the audio podcast, don't worry, nothing's going to change. All the podcasts that we do on this channel are still going to be going out as audio podcasts. But yeah, from today, daily video podcasts. So normally it would be NXT tomorrow, Dynamite on Thursday, Wrestle Culture on Friday. But thanks to the bloody schedule, we're going to do both NXT,
Thanks, wrestling.
NXT and Dynamite reviews tomorrow. We're going to do a Q&A on the YouTube channel on Thursday, Wrestle Culture on Friday, then hopefully back to normal. But if you want to see us live,
come to Newcastle.
Yeah.
do
Great here as well.
Fly.
Mosaic Tap's
Lovely city.
Mosaic Tap's got great beers. Matt Reigns, just saying.
You'll spend thousands to see his king.
And apparently Dabodo.
It goes down Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. As we mentioned at the Mosaic Tap, and tickets go on sale 10 a.m. on Friday. Put a reminder in your calendar, because by like 10:05, they're probably all gone. It's gonna be like
I was Beatlemania outside of All In, so Glastonbury on the website, I imagine.
Whatculture.com/tickets. We'll be doing a live Q&A, live 5-star review.
They're very affordable as well if you're rich or poor.
Yeah.
Bloody good quiz. And
Very
who
well
knows,
priced.
maybe some special guest appearances. Simon Miller will not be there, but some special guest appearances.
It's like when AEW signed Christian Cage and Paul White had to go, it's not CM Punk. It's not who you think.
Yeah. But thank you to everyone who's joined us for the live video Raw review today. It's not going to be a regular thing, but live, I mean. We'll still be doing the video of the Raw review.
It's not the end of the channel. It's the beginning.
It's the beginning, if anything. Actually.
But thank you to everyone who's joined us today. Thank you so much for all your comments. Thank you so much for all your donations.
Yeah, that rules.
Yeah, that's class. Thank you.
And make sure, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our YouTube channel and subscribe to What Culture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts available right now, as I said. The Tuesday Night War preview.
The ultimate war of wars.
That's what everybody's saying.
We'll be back tomorrow to review.
Troubling, actually. How many people
Ultimate
are
War
saying
of
that?
Wars. You can follow all of us on X at What Culture WWE. Well, actually, you can follow Michael Hamflet at.
Michael Hamflet.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at.
M. Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at What Culture WWE, as I said. But for now, this has been the Raw Review. Thanks again to everyone who's joined us live on YouTube. Thanks to our brilliant producer, Adam Nicholas. My thanks to Hamflet, to Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.